I read the news today, oh boy, about a lucky man who made the grade. And though the news was rather sad, well, I just had to laugh. I saw the photograph. He blew his mind out in a car. He didn't notice that the lights had changed. A crowd of people stood and stared. They'd seen his face before. Nobody was really sure if he was from the House of Lords. I saw a film today, oh boy. The English army had just won the war. A crowd of they'd seen his face before. Nobody was really sure if he was from the House of Lords. I saw a film today, oh boy. The English army had just won the war. A crowd of people turned away, but I just had to look. Having read the book, out of bed, dragged a comb across my head. Plumbed way upstairs and drank a cup. Looking up, I noticed I was late. Grabbed my coat and grabbed my hat, made the bus in seconds flat. On my way downstairs and had a smoke. Somebody spoke and I went into a dream.
Tell me how you really feel. What's up with you tonight?
I don't know. Something just feels wrong.
What do you mean something feels wrong?
It's just so cold in here.
So do you want to go home?
Yeah, I think so. Same time tomorrow?
Yeah. You guys drive safe.
See ya.
See you later. Hello?
I wouldn't have a military career if it wasn't for the soldiers and military members that came before me. The fact that we were no longer training to do what we came in the Army to do. We were actually getting ready to do it. And it's a sobering fact to know that you're gonna have to kill some folks. It's not a video game. It is not paper targets and training aids and simulations. It's real.
Well, in retrospect, it's amazing how much you forget, but I remember being in danger. I remember being scared. Being the nature I am, I didn't interact with the civilians in Vietnam, so I didn't really have any real contact with them. Like I say, I was scared a lot, but anybody that says they weren't is fibbing. I was not an aggressive unit. I was a Navy CB, which meant I was normally around Marines. But we didn't go out and look for trouble, but it didn't have any trouble finding us.
Well, it makes you proud that they wanted to serve their country. When he was over there, it was kind of scary sometimes, but we didn't have social media like you do now, so you had to rely on the news networks and all, and that wasn't always, they didn't always have all the information, so it was a little scary sometimes.
But probably my most permanent image is that I was in Way, Vietnam during the Tet Offensive of 1968. And if you look into history, that was the most fierce fighting in Vietnam, period. The NVA and Viet Cong took Way City. They occupied what they called the Citadel. The Citadel was here on one side of the Perfumes River, and directly across from it was Dave Callback and his friends. And I will never forget that because that's a pretty harrowing experience.
I don't remember when he was back over here, I don't remember it being awful and everything. We certainly didn't have a whole lot of extra money to do anything. We found lots of ways to do things that were free. Where he was stationed in California, so we went to the beach, we went to museums, and it was okay. I mean, you're away from family, but it wasn't too bad once he was back here, and I knew he wasn't going back over.
The thing that I remember most about being drafted and a lot of people don't know this, is when I was standing up in the induction center in Denver, Colorado, late at night, and they came by and swore us in. And as soon as they swore us in, all of those that had volunteered or enlisted, went where we were supposed to. All the people who were drafted, they went down the road going, Army, Marines, Army, Marines. And the look on the face of those guys that were designated Marines was kind of interesting, because I'm pretty sure they didn't realize when they got drafted, they probably thought they were going into the Army, and they actually ended up in the Marine Corps.
Isolated. I couldn't talk to anyone, and working and going to college at the same time kept my mind off of things. That was my goal, nothing more. And at that time, that mindset, I guess it fit me well, because in Vietnam, the mission was the goal. Couldn't think of the future. You can't control if you're going to be shot down, mortar or rocket blast. Just, you can't control that. So there was no future. And all I can think of was in the now. Even though I went to college, yeah, I'd like to get a degree, but I could not picture in my mind getting that. I could not see the future. I was only acting for the now for many, many years.
Those are the things I miss: the structure, the discipline, the uniformity of it. You know, it's just so many things. But we are family.
April 5th, 2022. 5 KRAM students and 2 chaperones left their home in Colorado to enter the great unknown. Also known as Los Angeles, the city of palm trees and air pollution. Now, just because we were there to compete doesn't mean we weren't gonna have a little fun first. So our first day was spent in its entirety at Universal Studios Hollywood. We did a lot there. We rode The Mummy, Jurassic World, The Mummy, Transformers, The Mummy, The Simpsons, and The Mummy. Yes, we did indeed ride The Mummy 4 separate times in our first day at Universal Studios. Jokes aside, we actually did accomplish a lot that day. We went on a tour through their film studios where we watched a shark eat someone and a serial killer get away with murder. After that, we went to a show where we learned about the animals used in film and TV. I also found out that we've been carrying this with us the whole time. The next day went largely the same. We went to Universal and rode The Mummy 2 more times, bringing our total to 6. Yeah, things may have gotten out of hand. To close our time at Universal, we went to a Waterworld show and got very wet. Once we got dry and changed, we set out to a bookstore. But not just any bookstore, it was the last bookstore, which I really hope isn't foreshadowing the end of traditional bookstores as Amazon continues to move towards a monopoly in every industry. Anyway, we had a really good time there. Some of us even bought books. We got back to the hotel in time for the keynote speaker. After that, we ditched the teachers, and the 5 of us got around to exploring the hotel. We're here in the back room, and it's so empty here, like, it feels like we shouldn't be here. Like, look at this, there's no one but us back here. I'm talking more now because I just found out like yesterday or today that these things can do sound, so. I know, we're actual like. Oh crap, it's locked on me, I can't. Ah! Say something for yourself. It's a motion sensor.
Ah, it's so warm in there though. I want to go back. It's so cold. It is so. Did you see? Like the other one we needed like it had an M in it.
I found all the ones I need. I don't know which ones you still need.
I
All these
needed.
people said that you were very pretty, Morgan. Please stop.
Oh, I did need Santa. I know what that was. Did you see?
My sister.
Hello,
yeah.
younger Spooner.
Hello, another Spooner.
Wait, is it?
Big spoon. Everyone calls her little spoon.
Oh, that's adorable.
That is
Morning came and it was conference time. I got locked in a room with a dozen other kids and forced to video edit. Meanwhile, the others set off to learn about this mysterious craft called journalism. After I was released, I started going to sessions as well. I learned about VR journalism, which is cool, but a bit out of our league. After that, we students met for lunch and couldn't ditch Miss Bailey, so we took her with us too. Say something inspiring.
Pizza's the way to a soul. That inspiring.
After lunch, I learned how to be a leader, which I probably should have learned before spending a whole year as a head editor. Turns out the secret is to be like a dog, loyal, fun to be around, cute, uplifting, cuddly, exciting, and friendly. That night, we went to Griffith Park. But at this point, we were all really tired and said a lot of weird things.
You are officially like I am a flightless bird.
This is probably Mooring's least favorite part, and honestly, I don't remember most of that night.
I won't get married. And having children is also a social construct.
Yes, and also a way to
No.
keep the population.
Oh my god.
The next day was pretty similar. I went to one of Mooring's sessions to watch him teach and act like I didn't know him. He quoted me at one point. This is entirely irrelevant to the piece as a whole. I just wanted to brag. All the students ended up meeting up at the next session. We ended up staying in the same room for the last 2 sessions, watching the same presenter give 2 different presentations. Then came the awards ceremony. McKenna Blatnick got an excellent award for her piece. Jackson Champagne got 4th place. Adam Carlson and Elia Bono got 2nd in the same category. Then, the big moment came. The best of show for broadcast journalism was being presented. The top 10 were being counted down. We knew going into this that KRAM had never placed above 5th. They announced 5th place, and it wasn't us. And neither was 4th. We were filled with equal parts excitement and dread. Should we be getting more concerned that they hadn't said our name yet, or more excited? 3rd place wasn't us either. Neither was 2nd. The announcer paused before 1st. And then it was us.
Woo! Go, go, go! Woo!
We invite you to the front to be a part of the video. Congratulations, everyone.
Go over there, yeah, get your picture taken.
Not only had we surpassed the previously most successful KRAM, we had beaten all 300 plus schools from 46 states. With a victory in our belt, we set out to do one last thing before heading home. We had yet to see the ocean. Last road trip. Anyone want to say anything?
I think
miss my dogs.
I'm sure McKenna has something to say. You have something to say?
No, for once I do.
No, for once.
Snarky, snide comments.